Hello, everyone. We got the thumbs up? We're good? Okay. It is 9:30 on the dot. And so I would like to officially welcome you to the Low Carb Cruise 2022. It took us a while to get here, didn't it? Maybe 2 or 3 years, but it was absolutely worth it. And all the things that we had to get through in order to be literally sitting right here on this ship, right? So on behalf of Debbie and the rest of the volunteers, go ahead, volunteers, raise your hands. Organizers, yes. Thank you so much for showing up and being committed to getting here, right? Because it was probably a lot easier to stay home versus going through everything we had to do in order to get here. But that's how committed you are to learning and to socializing and to hearing about this lifestyle and hearing from these amazing speakers. Let's go ahead and give it up for the speakers. I'm not going to lie, you guys. I have 30 minutes up here to kill. So there's going to be a lot of clapping, a lot of giving up. Thank you. A lot of giving up this way and that way, right? But, you know, we're also going to use this time to get to know a little bit more about each other. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, this is going to be very interactive, right? The more interactive that you help make it for the speakers, the more you'll get out of it as well. So I'm really excited to be here. Speaking of I and me, who am I? Who is me, right? Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Autumn Jones, or should I say Weathers? That's my beautiful husband right there, Richard. We've been married for just over 2 years. So maybe considered newlyweds. And I was like, do I have to change my name? Do I have to? Right? It's a lot. There's a lot to do, right? I know, right? So Jones is my maiden name, but I'll be picking it up to Weathers one of these days. But still, that is my husband right there. I will shout it from the mountaintop. Exactly. I'll keep kicking that can down the road. You're right. I'll say maybe next year, right? So, but still, I'm happy to be here with you today. So my name is Autumn. You might know me from the YouTube channel, Watch Autumn Keto. I have been following the keto lifestyle ever since 2017, when I just realized that I just felt horrible, right? Like my entire life, I had been trying to lose weight. So you'll learn about this on Saturday, because not only am I your gracious MC, I'm a speaker, right? So I don't want to give it all away, right? So I'll be speaking on Saturday as well. But essentially, I have a fraternal twin sister, and her name is Amber, and she is a handful. But our entire lives, whenever you're a twin, people like to put you into the which one are you category. Are you the athletic twin? Are you the smart twin? Or are you the this twin? And so I was the chubby twin, right? I was like, oh, are you the skinny one or the chubby one? Like, oh, that's Autumn, right? So. And our mother tried to dress us alike, maybe up until we were 5 or 6, and then she essentially couldn't anymore, right? Because we weren't wearing the same types of clothes. So my entire life, I had been comparing myself to my sister. How do I get as thin as that? How do I look like that? And I just wanted to know, how are people supposed to eat? How was it so easy for her to stay thin, right? But I just always had to count calories. I had to watch everything, right? And so I remember my whole life in trying to lose weight, I just knew calories in, calories out, right? It didn't matter what you ate, only how much of it, right? You eat less, you weigh less. You eat more, you weigh more. And so my entire life, just Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, lean cuisine, right? Just all of that stuff. And it was because I recognized food could control how much you weighed. But really, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease in 2015. And I had no symptoms whatsoever. I was only sick because they told me I was sick, right? But nothing else, was going wrong. And so I continued to just eat the way I was eating, which was still the standard American dieting diet, right? I was always on a diet, right? Unless I was on these, binge sprees after a long restriction, then I knew how to get right back on that diet, and then nothing worked, or maybe I lost the weight, but I was so upset that I had to be so restrictive that I just threw it all out the window and gained all the weight back, right? And so 2017 was the first year where I ever realized, like, wait a minute, every time after I eat, I feel horrible. Like my stomach hurts, and I just feel like someone was twisting my intestines in a knot, which was really sad because I love to eat, right? You're like, wait a minute, now I'm associating my favorite thing ever with the thing that brings me the most pain. And so I really had to realize, like, how are people supposed to eat to feel good? Like, I just want to feel good, and that's what I Googled. I Googled food to help you feel good in July of 2017, and the first video that popped up was Dr. Ken Berry. Can we give it up for Dr. Ken Berry? And so speaking of that, let's just divert a little bit. How many people were at the pre-cruise dinner and got to hear and see and, meet Dr. Bair and see Nisha and Joe and Rachel for that matter? That was absolutely just a beautiful, beautiful event. I can't wait till next year's cruise. We're all on this ship together, but it was so great of them to be able to come down and welcome us all. Yeah. But I saw Dr. Bair and his video talking about keto and the anti-inflammatory properties and the health benefits. And not only that, but people were losing a ton of weight. And I said, wait a minute, what? There's a way where I can feel better and accomplish the #1 goal of my entire life, which was to lose weight, right? I was like, this can't be real. And I'm eating butter, and I'm eating eggs, and I'm eating cheese, and I'm eating all of this meat while I'm doing it. I'm like, there's no possible way. So as we later found out, there is possible way, right? And so I started the keto lifestyle in September 2017 and never looked back. Like I said, I might have looked to the left and looked to the right a couple times, right? But I never looked back, right? And so that's why I'm so excited to be here, sharing and listening and sharing and learning just like everyone else. But that's me in a nutshell. You'll hear more about me on Saturday, but I'm just so happy to be here with you. And I'm grateful to Debbie and the Low Carb Cruise team for letting me step in and pinch hit for Joe and Rachel. Once again, I can't wait till cruise when they're back on. We're all in this together. But before we get started even more, I would like to thank all of our sponsors for this event. So go ahead and give it up for the sponsors. Our presenting sponsors are, of course, the Proper Human Diet by Dr. Bair and Nisha as well. But we also have one of our presenting sponsors on the ship with us, and that's the lovely folks at KETOCHOW. I told Chris Bair, the founder of KETOCHOW, I was like, hey, we got some minutes in the very beginning here to fill up. Why don't you come tell us a little bit about, if we want to thank you as part of being a sponsor, but, this would be a great time for you to share your story, share about, KETOCHOW and how they'll be involved this week and how you can find out more about them, not only this week, but, moving forward. So, Chris Bair, KETOCHOW.
Well, thank you all. Okay, so, for any of you who don't know, I'm Chris Bair. That's my wife, Miriam. This seems like a really good reason to have a legitimately, I could write this off as a business expense. But more than anything, we just wanted to support Debbie. We wanted to support the cruise, make this easier for all of you, help with the scholarship program, and yeah. If you want to try out KETOCHOW, it is in the back. We've got some packets, and we've got some of the electrolytes for everybody. I started a keto diet, and I was having a hard time getting the right nutrients. Just to tell you what KETOCHOW is, I'm an engineer, which means I'm very lazy. Although I've learned since then, it's not that I'm lazy, it's that I'm an essentialist. And I only want to do the stuff that's necessary, which may involve hours and hours and hours smoking a brisket. That could be something that is essential. Okay? But going to work and preparing food for that was not essential. So I wanted to prioritize my time. And again, I'm lazy. So I came up with a recipe for a meal replacement shake mix. A lot of people are like, oh, a shake mix, because your experience with a shake is like Slim Fast or something like that. I think that the people who are in charge of formulating products should live off of their product for a couple of years. All of the weird stuff will go away. All of the chalkiness. I actually lived on KETOCHOW for 100 days with no other nutrition. Mostly to prove a point, but also to get some really interesting data. Because with KETOCHOW, you can mix it up with water and your choice of fat. That could be butter, it could be heavy cream, it could be avocado oil, it can actually be melted coconut oil. I did try bacon fat, and that was just weird. Although some people tell me, no, it's good. But my 16-year-old drank it, but I was just like that. But hey, it turns out butter is the best fat source. As far as from a metabolic standpoint, butter has a lot of really cool short-chain fatty acids, medium-chain fatty acids, and long-chain fatty acids. In fact, Dr. Bickman, who we'll be hearing about later, likes it too. But anyway, I don't want to get into the why butter is best, but it has to do with C16. Anyway, No, well, anyway, I'm not, no, because, yeah, then I started launching into cholesterol and everything else. But yeah, so I made this meal replacement shake mix. Yeah, and it was just something for me. I was posting about it on my website, posting about it on Reddit. Turns out other people are lazy like I am. And they wanted something else that they could just mix with water and cream, stick it in the fridge for up to 6 days, grab it out when they needed it. It turned into a company, which is really weird. I ended up quitting my full-time job as a networking and system administrator. Now I have like 50 employees. Wow. Which is really weird because then like everything switches and you have to start doing stuff that you were doing voluntarily, but health insurance. Anyway, so yeah, that's KETOCHOW. We also have a line of electrolytes, and with our electrolytes, it's really different because my wife, she wanted electrolytes, and so we happened to be at a trade show, and there was a company that had just electrolyte, no sweetener, no flavor, no coloring, no caffeine. She's like, hey, we should start selling your guys' stuff. And then we started formulating other stuff with their help. Dr. Bair actually, I think Dr. Bair is a bit of an essentialist as well, meaning that he's lazy like me. If you've seen any of his videos, he recommends taking iodine and selenium and copper and chromium and all these different elements because our soils that we're growing food in, and then our cows, which are our real food, are eating them. Wait, it's depleted from the minerals, and so he wanted basically a daily supplement that was everything Dr. Bair recommends. And so he said, "Hey, Chris, you guys make electrolytes. Make me one with everything." And yeah, right. So we made the Dr. Bair Daily Minerals. I don't have any of that here. The one back there with his ugly mug on it, that's our electrolyte drops, which is just sodium, magnesium, potassium, mostly sodium and potassium with a little bit of magnesium. If you're just looking to, you got a bit of a headache or you need more, you need more hydration, that's probably the one that you want. The Daily Minerals, it tastes like minerals. It's not really good tasting. It's very effective. And I like to put a little bit of lemon with it. Other people, like Dr. Bair, just throw it on their steak when they're cooking it. Unless you reach temperatures of nuclear fusion, you will not be affecting the minerals. And also, if you happen to, the electrolyte drops, they just taste slightly salty. If you happen to be at a really nice steak restaurant with Maria Emmerich and Autumn, and there's no salt on the table, and the steak needs salt, you can totally just put it on.
After how much we paid for it.
Oh my gosh. It was like $70 a steak. It was insane.
We were at the Cosmopolitan Hotel in Las Vegas on the trip. So what were we thinking? It was crazy. But
anyway, but it's really good to put in your water, so make sure you grab one of those. But yeah, that's KETOCHOW. We're just trying to make keto easier for people so they can spend time doing the stuff that's really important, like working on their smoking problem. Oh, our family? So, okay, so we're killing time, right?
just a little more.
So Miriam and I, we got married in the year 2000, which makes computing our anniversary really easy. So, about a year later, we went on a hike up to Delicate Arch in Arches National Park. Miriam was a bit winded. We didn't know why, because she was pregnant. A couple weeks later, actually, we found out we were having a set of twins. They are identical. In fact, Dave Feldman, everybody know who Dave Feldman is, Mr. Cholesterol? When he found out that we had a twin who was very strict keto of her own accord, and a twin who wasn't, he flipped out. And we got a bunch of blood tests. Anyway, there is a blog post on both cholesterolcode.com and on the KETOCHOW blog that has a lot of interesting blood work from keto twin, non-keto twin. And then we decided that having twins was really difficult, so we had a singleton. She's on the cruise with us. That's Kate. She also does a ketogenic diet. And then we decided, you know what was fun? Twins. So we had another set of twins. They are not identical. She has longer hair than he does. Yeah, that's the only difference right there. You'll notice him. He is about 2 inches taller than I am. And really needs to shave. Oh, by the way, I'm shaved because that's the only way to get a good seal with a snorkeling mask.
Yep.
And then we're like, okay, we'll have a singleton again. So that's a really bad pattern, twin, single, so we're done. No, 8's a lot, 10 is no. So, but yeah, so that's us. Yeah, we got stuff back there. Come and talk to us, or just come and talk to us, or yeah, I don't know what else you guys want to know. Until time.
No, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Everyone,
Chris Bair, thank you so much. So, the Bears are just genuinely amazing people. So the way that we actually met was pretty funny. I did not know this, but Miriam had been watching my YouTube videos. And so every month I do a keto crate unboxing, right? So I unbox the keto crate. I do a taste test. So myself and my mother, who's not here, and my husband, we try all the products. Even though we don't necessarily integrate snacks into our everyday life, we do enjoy tasting the treats and then sharing our thoughts for people that might want to use those products. And so one month, the KETOCHOW actually came in the keto crate. And I was like, man, I've been seeing this stuff everywhere. I'm so excited to finally try some. It was the chocolate flavor. And so we whipped some up for our video, and we tasted it, and we absolutely loved it. We were like, this tastes like a chocolate milkshake. What? This is amazing. And we loved it. And then very soon after that, Miriam contacted me, and she was just like, I'm so happy you like the product. You know, would you like some more? And I'm like, wait a minute, what? So she sent all of this KETOCHOW for me and my family to have. And then shortly after that, they began watching my YouTube lives and commenting on the videos, and just the support that I've received from them, and just from knowing the Bears has really been life-changing and game-changing. And so I just want to thank you personally for just like reaching out to me. That was just those years ago. That was everything. And not only that, not only are they sponsoring, you know, this lovely low-carb cruise, but with the relationship that we've had, they're also gracious enough. They'll be actually sponsoring my 3rd annual conference this year called KetoPalooza, happening in my hometown of Louisville, Kentucky. So that's keto. Thank you, Louisville, Kentucky. Anybody? Yes. Okay. So it's PA- and it's LOU. It's in Louisville, but play on words, Palooza, because there is another KetoPalooza out there that has started on the West Coast, I think. I really hope, I wish those people well, but I'm the original KetoPalooza, right? So I invite you to that in, September 30th through October the 2nd in Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville, Kentucky is actually probably a lot more accessible than you would think. If you're on the West Coast, it's as far away as you think it is, right? But if you are anywhere toward the middle of the United States and over to the east, it's probably a lot closer than you think. So I definitely recommend. Look up Louisville, Kentucky. We'd love to see you. A lot of the lovely people that are here this week are going to be there. So KETOCHOW, Chris and Miriam are going to be there. Dr. Bair and Nisha are going to be there. Joe and Rachel are going to be there. Lots of people still working on Nurse Cindy. Nurse Cindy? Yes. Nurse Cindy's going to be there. We just learned that right now. You're the first to find that out. So yes, and then many more. So we definitely invite you. September 30th through October the 2nd. So it's like the very last weekend in September. In
LowCarbEvents.com.
LowCarbEvents.com. We'll have a list of all of the low carb and keto events. And then you can also go to KetoPalooza.com. And once again, I'll be here all week, so just flag me down and be like, what was that URL? What was that link? Who are you again? Right? I would love to tell you about KetoPalooza. So tickets are still on sale. They'll be on sale up until we sell out, because one thing that I really appreciate, or that I'm making it a point about KetoPalooza, is just to keep it these small, intimate events, right? That way you get to know each other, you get to know the speakers, you get to hear the stories, right? And so that's really important to me, but once again, just mentioning that KETOCHOW is sponsoring and presenting that conference, so I'm really, really grateful. But enough about hearing about me, and definitely enough about hearing about Chris Bair. Yeah. Okay, so now I want to learn a little bit about you. So we have about 10 minutes before we're getting, started with the actual presentation. So I want to learn a little bit about everyone, and our favorite thing ever, icebreakers, right? When's the last time you participated in an icebreaker? So I'm going to be asking some questions, and so feel free, we're going to start off by standing or raising your hand, however you're the most comfortable, right? And then as we hit certain thresholds, I'll ask you to take a seat, right? And that way, be looking around, noticing people that you have things in common with, noticing people that maybe are in a different spot in their journey in life than you are, and this is our time to get to know each other. This is our time to learn more, because we'll have a lot of breaks. And so make a friend, just like Joe said when we were at the dinner, make some friends. Yes, community, leads to commitment or breeds commitment, right? Like you need that community, and we're all physically here right now, and we're from all over the country, all over the world. So there's no better time to make that in-person connection than right now. Okay, so to participate first, I'll stand up or raise your hand, however you want to participate. Just make sure we're having hands there. Okay, so I know that we're all at different places in our keto journeys, so this is going to be an opportunity for us to find out just how long we've all been in the game, right? How many of those keto OGs do we have out there? Or maybe people new to the lifestyle that, haven't really been practicing or for a long time, but are here to learn. So if you've been keto for a year or less, have a seat. Look at that. Way to come on a cruise dedicated to it. I am impressed, right?
Very good.
There's my husband. Thank you, Richard. Yes, okay. All right. Okay, if you've been keto for 2 years or less. Wow. Love that. 3 years. Look at that. Amazing. 4 years or fewer. Wow.
Look at Joe.
5 years or fewer. That's where I come down. Yeah, 2017. Okay, we got some people 6 years or fewer. 7. We got some OGs and they got. Okay, we got some people left standing here. What about you? How long have you been keto?
Well, carb first.
Of course. Well, that definitely.
10, 12 years.
Wow, that's amazing. Absolutely.
Carrie has been on every one of our low carb.
Wow. Beautiful. I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for sharing. What about you?
About the same time,
12
12 years.
years. My goodness, that is amazing. Dr. Boss? How long?
2014.
Wow, 14. Oh, wow, over 8 years. Awesome.
I came over from macrobiotic vegan, so that should be extra points.
It really should. Thank you for seeing the light. Absolutely. That is amazing. So look, as you can see, there are just so many people here at different lengths in their keto journey. So, take this time, get to know each other, learn from people, for the people that might be newer to it, like take in all the information, but learn from the stories from people that have been doing it for a while. For the people that have been doing it for a while, talk to those newbies, right? Get that excitement again, right? Of when you really just find out how by simply changing what you're eating, you can change your entire life. You can change the outlook of your health and the health of your entire family, and all it takes is just to change what you put in here, right? And then you begin to change the way that you think about yourself, and then the way you think about the world. How many of us, when we first realized about, find out about the keto lifestyle, and then you begin to look around and you just get so angry. You just get so mad how all this information is it's right there in front of people, but it's drowned out by the constant advertising, by the constant misinformation. Dr. Bair lies, my doctor told me, right? Like from all these authority figures, right? When the information is right there, and how everyone else seems to have these blinders on, but now we see the light, and we're just trying to tell people, that we can. And Dr. Bair also says that, making sure that you're sharing your own story in your everyday life, right? Because Maybe they're not going to learn it from the TV. They're not going to watch the YouTube videos, right? But they're going to see you, and they're going to say, hey, I remember you used to have diabetes. Hey, I remember you used to weigh that much more. Hey, I remember you used to not be able to walk up and down stairs. What are you doing? How are you changing your life? And help those people in your everyday life. Okay, one more exercise before we get started. Stand back up. Okay, raise your hand. Okay, so the beautiful thing about the keto lifestyle, we all know, is that it's not just about weight loss, right? It's not just about pounds dropping on the scale. It's about all of the amazing health benefits that come along with it. But the weight loss can be impressive, right? That number, it can be a lot. It can overhaul the way, people's entire lives and bodies. So here, we're just going to see how many pounds have come off the scale. And so keep standing. So how many people have lost 30 pounds or fewer on the keto diet? I'm thinking that, man. Love that. 30 pounds, which is still so significant. For the most part, that's over 10% of people's body weight. 50 pounds or fewer. Look at that. 75 pounds or fewer. Look at this. All right. Even this. All right. 100 pounds or fewer. Look at this. Okay. So we have some people in here that have lost over 100 pounds on the keto lifestyle. And I want to recognize those people. Man, how many pounds? 105 pounds. And hey, that's all of us. Here's the thing. It's not only about, yes, that initial burst of energy and excitement that we all get, but it's about the perseverance that it takes to keep going, even when you might have put some weight back on. And the interesting thing is, that's actually what my talk is about. If you're anything familiar with my story, I've put on maybe 30 or 40 pounds since my lowest weight. But it's even more to continue to say, you know what? I got really excited, really, really low, and on the scale at one point, but then I started to lose my way, started to just veer left and right once again, but I'm committed to this lifestyle. I didn't just give up. I didn't throw it out the window and be like, well, keto didn't work for me, because as soon as you go off, your weight comes back. It's about recognizing that it truly is the proper human diet and choosing to eat it every day, whether the numbers keep going down or not, just knowing that this is the right thing you're doing for your health. So I commend you. You're not alone, right? And so, thank you for sharing so much. Heath, how many pounds have you lost? Close to 200. And we're not going to go too much more into that because Heath is also speaking a little bit later. He's sharing his story, but thank you so much for sharing, Heath. Thank you. Chris. All about changing the way you eat. Nothing drastic, just changing the way you eat. Ryan. 135.
140.
120.
120.
103.
103. Yes, I love it. 125. 125. My goodness. 120. 130. Beautiful. 140. Look at that. We're making our way up. Yes. Give everyone a round of applause. Once again, it's not about that. It's about your commitment to this lifestyle. And it's about your commitment to your health when maybe every other facet in your life is telling you it's not the right thing to do. Your friends are telling you you're going to have a heart attack. Your doctor's telling you this is not the thing that's going to work, right? But for knowing for yourself that this is the best choice for you. So just kudos to everyone and just congratulations. And we're so happy to be here. And I'm happy to say we're at 30 minutes, folks. I want to thank you so much for your participation, but I'm so excited that it's time to hop into the presentations. So if you are familiar or if you have seen the itinerary, which once again, if you haven't, it's on the walls, but you can see some of it's marked out because it's changed, of course. But then also using those QR codes, you can get the complete program and the itinerary with updated information. So make sure to be referencing that. And then also I'll be announcing, or Debbie will be announcing, any changes that might come up in the meantime. So stay tuned. But our first presenter was supposed to be Dr. Ben Bickman, as we all know, but he was unable to join us. But he was so dedicated to this cause and wanted to share this information that he actually recorded his presentation and sent us a video of it, right? So we get to watch a video, yes, of Dr. Bickman's presentation. So we'll be starting that now, and I'm going to read Dr. Bickman's bio, right? Nice. Bio right now. Okay. So, Benjamin Bickman earned his PhD in bioenergetics and was a postdoctoral fellow with the Duke National University of Singapore in metabolic disorders. Currently, his professional focus as a scientist and professor at Brigham Young University is to better understand the role of elevated insulin in regulating obesity and diabetes, including the relevance of ketones in mitochondrial function. All right, we hear you. Okay. Outside the lab, Dr. Bickman is a devoted husband and father. As we can tell by his absence here, he's at home being a devoted husband and father right now, and enjoys nothing more than traveling and adventuring with his wife and 3 children. So even though we're so sad Dr. Bickman couldn't physically be with us now today, we are so excited to see his presentation, and I'm going to go ahead and cue this video up, and it'll be, I think, maybe about 45 minutes, his entire presentation, and then we'll be taking a break.